Hello, my dear Femmies and new subscribers and new viewers. If you just stumbled upon this video, hello and welcome to FemmeTarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium and energy reader and healer. So welcome back, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is going to be a very interesting video. Like, I want to start off by just saying that I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. This is candid. These are predictions, what I've been getting the last few weeks, okay? Maybe a couple of months already. I've done a video. I did a video back in January where I talk about Pluto in Aquarius and what that means for the collective, what that means for us individually. And I have mentioned, I did share with you some of my predictions, right? But I did say in that video that I would come back because I needed to work with my guides, do some meditation, and see what is coming through in order for me to give you a more comprehensive, let's just say, forecast or prediction for what this year is going to bring. Some of my predictions are going to fall in, or they're going to kind of like trickle through into 2025 as well. And I want to explain everything about 2024. All right. I'm sure a lot of you have seen a lot of readers, a lot of psychics and mediums out there and seers do their own, like share their own predictions, tell or share what they see is coming and how our world is changing. So for those of you who have been following this channel for a while, you'll remember I have a little bug around. So if you see anything flying, it's nothing spiritual, okay? It's just I have a little fruit fly. I don't know why I have fruit fly in here. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I just want to basically give you a heads up, all right? A heads up of what's coming. Funnily enough, when I posted the the announcement on Instagram stories about this live, Zach Peter, he's like, oh dear, what does that mean? That doesn't sound good. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not all bad. Okay, because we have to think a little bit more long term here, and I will explain everything as we go along. So I have notes here. So if I look, am I back, you guys? I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. All right, okay. Okay. Storm says when the mic moved, it turned off the sound. So where was I, you guys? I have no idea what you heard. Can you let me know where I cut my sound off by accident? Okay, great. Thank you, Chad. Just let me know where we are. Because I've been going on and on. I'm really sorry, you guys. All right. So I'll just repeat what I said. All right. So what I was saying is that some of these predictions are going to be a little bit scary. They might be stress inducing. They can be frightening. but please do not panic and do not feel fearful, all right? And I will explain along the way why you shouldn't be, all right? So I want to start with this year because the next 2 years are pivotal. Oh, thank you. Okay, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Zach messaged me when he saw the Instagram story, and he's like, "Oh no, this looks doesn't look good." And I said to Zach, "This is not all bad, okay? They're good and there's bad stuff like every year, like that's life, right? You've got ups and downs, you've got positives and negatives. Some of the negatives are quite big. Okay. Now we'll explain everything. So I want you to look at 2024 for the next 2 years. The next 2 years are very crucial for humanity, for the collective, for where we're all heading as humanity. And it started last year, if you remember my predictions last year and me talking about 2024. And then 2024 is when Pluto enters Aquarius. This is where our lives are going to start changing. All right. So I want you to look long term because long term, it's super positive. Where we're all heading, it's super positive. But we've got to make it positive and we have to make it work through positive intentions, praying, through meditation, through being kind to each other, through helping each other and doing charity work, philanthropic work, respecting nature, respecting animals. There's a lot that we can do. I mean, it doesn't not we don't have each individual has to take on everything, but if we change a little bit how we react to the stimuli around us, and it's not just stimuli, but what's happening around us, if we are able to control that for ourselves and we start having a more positive we put out more positive thoughts and love, okay, then yes, because we're all made of energy, we're all connected, we can change some of these outcomes that I'm going to, some of these events and outcomes that I'm about to share with you, and we can change the world around us. The world is changing anyways. So let me start with 2024. I'll start with this and I'll get into the predictions and my notes. So I want you to look at or see 2024 as a year of purging, which we have been doing for a couple of years now, but it's also the year of big change, the beginning of big change. So I'll just give you an analogy about 2024, 25, and 26. Think of it this way. And I'm starting off this way because I want to calm everyone down right before we start. It's all good. And we're here. This channel, this community is not going anywhere. We're here to help each other. All right. We're here to support each other. We've been doing this for the last almost 5 years that I've been on YouTube. Now, 2024, imagine this. What happens when you decide to move, whether it is to move home, to move country, to move state, province, canton, city, doesn't matter. There's a lot to be done, right? There's a lot of organization, a lot of change, a lot of purging. You start packing, you start getting rid of things that you don't want to take with you in this new chapter, in this new place that you're going to move to. You've got to settle your bills. You say goodbye to your neighbors, to your colleagues, to your friends, the people that were part of your little community, part of your inner circle, let's just say. Okay. So there's a lot of that happens, and it's not easy because you're stressed. You have so much to take care of. You're excited about what's coming. You're excited about this new chapter, but you're overwhelmed. This is 2024. This is how it feels like. Purging, getting rid of things. making big changes, knowing that these changes, as painful as they are, as difficult, as stressful as they are, that they're leading you to a change that is going to create a positive uh, a positive energy around it. 2025, what is it going to feel like? This is after you've moved. You've moved to this new location, new home, new city, whatever it is. And now you're trying to adjust. You're trying to settle in. You're trying to, you're trying to get to know your neighbors, your neighborhood, um, the schools, if you were a parent. It's just there's so much newness around you that you're trying to get used to. You're getting used to it, right? You're adjusting to that. The rhythm, because the rhythm, yeah, the lifestyle, the rhythm, the energy of that location. For instance, if you leave Alabama and you move to New York, there's a very, very different energy about it, and you have to adjust to the New York energy. Everything is faster. People are busy. People don't have time to have a quick chat with you or say good morning to you. That's London too, by the way. It's not just New York. I'm just bringing random examples. And so that's 2025. 2026, here's the thing, 2026 is when you're finally settled in your new home, new neighborhood, new city, country, whatever it is, and you're rebuilding your life. You're rebuilding your life the way that you want it because you moved there for a reason. I hope this helps you guys just to put a little bit into perspective how the next couple of years are going to feel. So 2024 is bringing big dramatic changes, all right? Politically, society, religion and faith, global warming, natural disasters. There's just a lot. Royalty as well. We'll look at everything, a little bit of everything, a little bit of what I've been getting the past few weeks, couple of months even, and I've been writing my spiritual journal. I've been having a lot of vivid dreams as well lately. Some I feel are prophetic. We'll find out. Some are just a lot of spirit energy around me, and I'm not the special one. I know that a lot of other light workers have been experiencing similar things. All right, so just that. I will take your questions at the end. You can ask me anything as per usual, but just wait until the end because then I don't want to get distracted or confused or miss your questions while you're typing in and asking in the chat. All right, let's start. So the reason why I'm doing this video today is that I could have waited a little bit longer because I know there's more stuff coming through, but we have entered March, and March and April, you guys, are going to be fully stacked with a lot of things months, okay? Not only on a planetary astrological perspective, but also the world. There are big, big, big things coming. All right. So some of them, I'm going to start with those 2 months and then I will keep going and I'll tell you what I've been seeing. But before I get into it, we have 50 in the room. So you guys, I'm going to ask you, you know what I'm going to ask you? I'm going to ask you to like this video because it does help with the algorithm gods, not dogs. Maybe they are, who knows? And please subscribe if you're new here and if you just stumbled on this channel. We have so much content out there for you. And I normally I'm always live on Sundays and a lot of times on Fridays as well. And in between, you might have some surprise content too. All right, let's start, you guys. So, all right, so I want to start with something that I've been picking up for several months. All right. I'm not sure if I shared it with you at some point in one of my lives, but I will share it with you now. I don't know if we have anyone here who's from Hong Kong, China, just generally that vicinity, but or that area, okay, or that part of the world, maybe even. But I do see tensions between China and Taiwan mounting, escalating. All right. You don't hear it a lot from mainstream media. And I've been telling you guys, do not rely on mainstream media for the real news, for actual information, for factual things. All right. For factual information. You're not going to get it. You have to go digging using social media. So tensions between China and Taiwan are escalating. It does feel and it does seem, and I've been shown this, that there is going to be military action, all right? And there is going to be conflict. And this is also this, and we know Taiwan. Why Taiwan? Because they have or they produce, and part of this is why China wants to take control of that area, is because they do manufacture or produce the best chips in the world, chips that are used everywhere. Anything, your computer, your phone, electronics, use chips that are made in Taiwan. All right, just saying. So it does look to me, the whole area looks red, and not red because of the, because that's the national color of China, or their flag is red, that too, but red as in sirens, red alert, dare I say, war sirens are echoing. All right. This is how I saw things in my vision. All right. A lot of times, spirit, and I've said this, not a lot of times, most of the times I do get pieces. So symbolism, symbolic things I'm being shown, and I have to piece things together. All right. So that is going to be the beginning of something, of a massive, massive political, economic, societal change for China. Next few years, how I see this is, it's going to start with Taiwan, but what I do see is eventually China is no longer going to be the People's Republic. All right, it's not going to be governed by one man who just, does whatever he wants, basically being a dictatorship. Oh, sort of like well, it's not, it's a communist country, but it, there is a dictatorship sort of, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm all over the place because I'm picking up stuff at the same time. So, Joan, I saw your question and I will get to it. Yeah, I'll get to that about the United States because there's a lot I want to tell you about the United States. So, the beginning of this change is that I do see that the People's Republic of China is no longer going to be the People's Republic. It's going to end up becoming a democracy. And I do see China splitting into small, different nations. So Hong Kong will no longer be under the Chinese umbrella or under this Chinese, I don't want to say occupation, but it will no longer be part of China. All right. Hong Kong is one. Then we have Taiwan. Then we have other little provinces as well that are going to split this. Think about the USSR and what happened to the USSR. The USSR, what it split. So what happened was Ukraine became its own country, Moldavia, Lithuania, etc. Everything that was part of Russia became their own autonomous nations. So think of it that the same way with China. What that will also bring for China, and let's talk about this year, not what's coming, is I do see also like the real estate bubble bursting. I see a huge housing market crisis that is starting in China. And this is going to happen in the next couple of months. So we will start seeing this, all of what I've just said is going to start unfolding, and we're going to start seeing it happen March, April. All right. Let me see. Okay, so I talked about the real estate, which has been shaky for the last few months as well. Now, the other thing I want to say, speaking of real estate and housing markets and et cetera, market crisis, I do see around April a real estate market crisis in the US as well. All right. I don't feel is going to last long. I know right now, uh, how the prices in the US are extremely high. They haven't dropped at all. So it's not exactly the best time to buy. But I do see another bubble bursting in the US regarding real estate. And I do feel this is going to last a few months until the elections. So if it happens around April or March, it will last for about 5 months, 6 months around that time. Also, there is going to be, you guys, so anyone in the US, be prepared because there's going to be huge political unrest. So, society division, which is going to be huge, and it is what I'm being shown. I was shown I was shown Gone with the Wind. Don't laugh, but that's one of my favorite books, really. Out of the classics, Gone with the Wind. I was shown Gone with the Wind, which was based, or it took place during the Civil War. So what I was shown is that the feeling, the atmosphere, the energy in the US this year is going to feel very much Civil War. There's going to be a lot of division, and a lot of division when it comes to the it's a political division because we have those that are woke that have gone way, way, way extreme in one direction, and then we have the other side going very, very extreme in the other direction. So there are going to be naturally clashes, division. People are going to get violent. People are not going to, there's going to be mistrust, even when it comes to your neighbor or someone that you know or a colleague. This is how I'm not saying there is going to be a civil war, but the overall energy and the overall feeling is that of a civil war, which scares me a little bit when it comes to gun control as well, because I also feel that shootings and things like that are going to go up. It's going to escalate. They should have done something about this a long time ago. All right. I'm so angry about this. Right. So, Kate has violence in Washington, D.C., all over the US. Okay. I cannot give you a location specifically. I do see some events are going to take in New York. California, we'll get to you in a minute. There's a lot happening in California too. My throat chakra is being affected. So let me see what else I've got here. Yeah. So there is going to be a lot of that. Now, there's also going to be a lot of tension in the US. Why? Because I do feel someone asked in the chat, I'm not sure if I missed it, but anyways, yes, Russia, Israel, Lebanon, they're trying to pull the US into their own messes. Okay. They're trying to do that. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying they will be successful, but unfortunately, with Biden not being 100% all there, we'll get to Biden in a second. They will get very, very aggressive. So these nations are going to get very aggressive when it comes to their conflict and when it comes to and when it comes to demands as well. We're going to see a big media war, let's just say. So again, do not believe everything that you see or hear on mainstream media, or even on social media. Just exercise critical thinking when it comes to what you're seeing. Do your own research in general, but there's going to be a lot of that. Okay, they're going to be pulling people's heartstrings. They're going to be pulling a lot of they're going to be spinning a lot of what's happening. Okay, I don't feel that US I wasn't shown that, but I don't feel that the US will get directly involved in any of these wars, but indirectly they are. Okay, because we already know that they've been providing Ukraine with ammunition, weapons, F-16s, F-14s, you name it. All right, but that's sort of like an indirect. So does the UN. So does the EU. But that's an indirect involvement. So what everyone else is trying to do right now is that they're trying to pull the US directly in this. So let me see regarding the US. Yeah. Let's go back to California one quick second, because I have a few things about California as well. And then I'll get back to the wars and what's happening in the Middle East, in Ukraine and Russia, etc. I want to go to California because I've been, guys, saying this for quite a while, that I am seeing a big earthquake. West Coast, Southwest Coast. I was shown California. I was shown specifically, I can share with you what that vision was. I saw the San Francisco Bridge and it was swinging. Okay, so big earthquake coming. I don't feel the epicenter is going to be under a big city, okay, in California, but there are going to be there are going to be quite a few damages and catastrophe around it. Okay, it doesn't mean that California is going to be flattened. There's nothing going to be left. That's not what I'm saying, but it's going to be quite a big earthquake. It's going down in the history books. Let me just say that. Regarding earthquakes, I see a big earthquake, unfortunately, coming in my area. So Turkey recently, last summer, they had a big earthquake. That was sort of like a sample or a preview of what's coming in this area. So Greece, Turkey, and Italy, unfortunately, I've been feeling that already. And just before we went on, I saw not on the news, but I saw in a Greek newspaper that we've had a lot of seismic activity on the west part of Greece, where the islands of the Ionian Sea are. So the islands between Greece and Turkey. So there's a lot of seismic activity. I think they had 3 or 4 earthquakes just today. So it's building up. I'm also seeing, speaking of earthquakes, and then I'll get back to California, Indian Ocean. So I feel that the first earthquake that's going to happen is going to be in the Indian Ocean, affecting India or parts of India. And also, I do see a tsunami, which is scary, you guys, because I'm going to Mauritius in May, and that's in the Indian Ocean. And all know I'm from Mauritius. I'm visiting my sick granny. So that's a bit worrisome, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. Back to California. So I spoke about the earthquake. I also see I also see legislations being put forward uh, when it comes to AI. All right. And I was specifically shown California because I feel this is where it's all starting. And this is mostly to protect public figures from AI. All right. From what someone can do with AI and how realistic it is. So I do see that they will enforce some kind of protection laws or protection legislations out there, starting from that, protecting public figures from AI. Let's see. I'll tell you, I will share with you that in a minute. What was the other thing I saw? Oh, I was also shown, I saw it's either a small country or an island underwater, completely underwater. Um, Also, I wanted to say a lot of floodings this year, a lot of really extreme weather happening in different locations in different parts of the world. But I did literally see uh, it looked like a small island, but that could also be a small country underwater. Just make a mental note of that. Regarding, I also see moving out of the US. And I told you I'll be all over the place because I have my notes here and I'm hearing things and seeing things while we're doing this. I'm also seeing, you guys, nuclear tensions. Yes, we are. That topic is back on the table, unfortunately, and it comes from Iran. It comes from Iran. So that part of the world, for sure, they're escalating some kind of nuclear tension with the possibility of nuclear war. Now, before everyone panics, I did not see nuclear war happening, but I did see that nuclear weapons is going to be definitely uh, a hot topic and something that we'll be talking about the whole year. And that's going to be dangling over our heads. Again, games of war, political games, they want us to be afraid. They want us to be frightened because that's when we lower our vibration, and that's how they feed off of our energy and off of our vibration to do their evil, dark work. Okay. Okay. Back to the US and Biden. So I've been saying this since last year. Biden's health, I mean, you don't need a psychic. You can actually see that cognitive he's cognitively he's like not all there, right? But I do see his health, his physical health is going to go downhill very, very fast. And I do feel around summertime, so it could be June, July, he steps down. Kamala Harris steps up as a vice president. She's going to be the president. Okay, she's going to take over for Biden until the end of the year. If you remember in that video that I did about Pluto and Aquarius, I did talk about this is the year where the feminine and women are going to come. We are going to find our power. We're going to find ourselves in positions of power. We're going to be given this opportunity to change, to make big, meaningful changes. So Kamala is one of them. Even in Russia, I don't care what other people say. I've been saying this for a couple of years. Putin is going to not be with us very soon. I don't believe half of the videos or the pictures that are being shown on mainstream media of Putin. We know he uses doubles. There's AI now. There's all sorts of things. I feel that he's very, very sick. All right. So he's not going to be around for a long time. I cannot give you because last year I did see that I was shown that that was going to happen last year, but obviously it didn't. So something's changed. So I'm not given a timeline or I'm not given a date or anything. All right. But I'm just saying. But after Putin, I see a woman governing, being the president of Russia. Wow. Let's see. I also just got there is going to be a female. So in the science and technology part of the this video and reading, if you will, I did see that in science and technology. So, because we are going to be seeing medical advancements, breakthroughs, including curing cancers. Most cancers this year, we're going to get this type of news. We're going to get this amazing news that most types of cancers are going to be able to be cured and treated and cured, okay? Including Alzheimer's, by the way, including Alzheimer's and dementia. So this is really, really good news. But what I feel is when it comes to these like medical breakthroughs or announcements, I again feel there's a female who is responsible for one of these amazing medical. I don't know how we're going to say them. Like, yeah, medical breakthroughs. All right. So I'm really, really excited about all that. And that's why, you guys, there is still hope. There is hope. There's not still, there's always hope. Oh, okay. Speaking of, I'm all over the place. Okay, hold on. Let me just stay structured here. Let me stay where I was. Hold on. Legislation. I talked about that. Trump. Okay, let's talk about Trump because a lot of people have been asking me, is he going to win the next election? Okay, let me start with Trump's health. So, Trump's health, it seems to me I'm not sure if he has been diagnosed and he's keeping it secret or he's about to get diagnosed, but his health, just like Biden's, is going downhill. And it feels to me some kind of autoimmune or some kind of flare up or something that was like underlying something that he wasn't aware that he had and something triggered it. And so it's going to take his health is going to take quite a toll, but it doesn't mean that he won't be able to run for the next elections. So it's really interesting. I keep getting he loses. Okay, he loses like every time I ask Spirit. I get he's going to lose the next elections. All right, but then there are times when, especially when I catch the news or I catch something when it comes to Trump, and I'm like, oh my God, he may actually win the elections. So I'm going to go with what Spirit showed me and gave me, which was he loses the election, but I will do a reading around that just before the elections. All right. When the time comes. I do feel another thing, something else about the US elections. I do feel that those are going to be quite dramatic. And I don't mean because of Trump, but I do feel some kind of hiccup or something is going to come out just before the elections on election day. It might be that it's like void and canceled and you'll have to do it again. It just feels messy and dramatic, and it's going to be a soap opera, telenovela. Let's see. I also see, by the way, another submarine goes missing. All right. So, and I feel it's a submarine, it's like a military, it's like a Navy submarine. This is not just like what was that submarine, the Titan submarine. No, this is going to create tensions between a few countries. This could be a NATO submarine. I'm just getting. So just telling you guys what I'm seeing, which is going to create some issues. Oh, back to health stuff. All right. So we're not going to have another pandemic like the one we had in 2020. But I do see an epidemic or an endemic when it comes to smallpox, which is going to raise a lot of issues around migration. I feel the smallpox, though, is not coming from Asia. Okay, well, let's leave China out of this time, because this is not going to be China's fault. I mean, from what I'm being shown, you never know. So there is going to be an epidemic, not epidemic. Yeah, epidemic. Pandemic is epidemic of smallpox, and it is going to raise a lot of issues and a lot of turmoil and a lot of people protesting and a lot of people are on the streets regarding migration, regarding laws, migrations, and immigrants. So this year is going to be packed with all that. And eventually it's going to change a lot, especially here in Europe. It's going to change a lot about how Europe functions, about the politics behind EU. And I feel a lot of countries will want to pull out of the EU eventually because they will want to protect their own borders. They will want to protect their people, their agriculture, everything. All right. So I see that that's going to happen. That's the next decade. But it starts this year. The wheels are starting to turn now. So the engine is just starting. Let's see, what else do I see? So oh, really quickly about the entertainment industry. Back to Hollywood, back to California. I do see there are going to be stronger laws regarding wokeness, regarding transgenders, regarding what you identify as, how you represent yourself, etc. There are going to be I'm telling you, we're going from one extreme to the other. Remember that. Remember that, and be ready, be prepared for that. All right. So I do see that stronger laws when it comes to that. Let's see. I don't know, something around the Olympics as well. The Olympics are this year in Paris. I have a bad feeling about that. Just saying. I didn't see something specific, but I have a bad feeling about the Olympics. Could be threats of terrorist attack or something will happen. All right. And political outcries as well regarding the Olympics. And I do feel it has to do with transgender athletes, competing against females or males. Something around all that, it's going to be a mess. I hope I didn't press the button again. Entertainment industry, something else which is going to be shocking. Possibly, I see a big movie studio folding. And also, I don't know if it's due to, I'm not 100% sure about that, or this is going to happen right after a big legal case involving the film industry. There's something huge that's going to come out legal about the film industry and about a movie studio. I also see that. Someone's saying Warner Brothers. Yeah. Who had the was it Paramount with the lion? The beginning, their intro, their thingy. I was getting the lion, so I think it's Paramount, right? Just saying. Let's see, what else have I got here? Let's talk about the royals. All right. So no, we talked about no. So this is what I'm getting about the U.S. I told you about the Middle East. Told you about China. Europe, I see the earthquakes, I see migration laws changing, the smallpox entering Europe. That's going to bring some panic and a lot of discussions and a lot of political fighting. What was the other one? Scandinavian countries. I do feel something around Finland. I do feel that there is going to be some kind of event in Finland that obviously is going to bring discord between its neighboring countries, Norway, Sweden, etc. Sorry, Isa. Um, but it's going to start in Finland. Let's see. Let's go to the royal family then. I talked about Trump. Yes, let's talk about the royal family. So I did do a reading last week with Kempire, and I have done another reading, I think it was like a month ago, around the royal family, but it was more about King Charles and William. So I just want to repeat what I've said in the past and what I've seen. Okay. King Charles, we know now that he's got cancer. I don't feel that it's curable. All right. I do see King Charles. And you know what's funny? I'm trying to bring on one of my favorite astrologers. There are a couple of astrologers I'm going to bring on the channel. There's one of them, he lives in Singapore. And I absolutely love his energy. He does predictive astrology and he's extremely accurate. And funnily enough, we had this discussion and we agreed totally. We didn't exactly agree on the timing of this. I'll give you my timing because obviously this is what I got. So, King Charles, so he will be abdicating next year, 2025. Yes, he'll be abdicating. He won't pass, and then William's gonna become king. He is abdicating before anything else happens. And then William's going to come on to reign as the king. I see Prince William 2025 or 2026. So I do feel that King Charles is going to come out announcing his abdication 2025, but there might be several months or even up to a year before Prince William, not King William. I was about to call him King William. Prince William is ready and is rules as the king. Harry, I've said this a while ago, I think it was a couple of years ago, that I did see him picking up royal duties part-time at first. He will pick up his royal duties this month. If not March, it's going to be latest by April, where he's officially in the UK representing the royal family. Now, a lot of questions because Meghan's is going to be nowhere to be seen. All right. So, a lot of questions, and people this time are really, really going to question whether Harry and Meghan are still a loving couple living together, working together, and raising their kids together. Okay. They're really going to question this. And I also feel something about Meghan is coming out this month, March 2024. Something big. Okay. So wait for it. I'm not, I can't tell you what that's going to be. But while I was looking at the royal family and looking around Harry, etc., I saw Meghan, but Harry was here with his family. He was like, let's say this is his family. Harry was like standing a little bit further away from them, but on their side. So here they are, and this is Meghan. So far away. Okay. I'll keep saying this. They're not together. They're not together. It's all keeping up appearances. It's all about, it's a business. It's a business. They're in business together and they have to keep up appearances and do things in order to get paid, in order to make money, in order to get donations for their charity, their NGO. So, but something huge about Meghan is coming. And I do not want to, I don't particularly like Meghan. I'm going to say it. You guys know that. I don't like her energy and every time I read her, I don't like what I'm picking up and I'm seeing. And I have to say that finally, I think this is going to, what's coming out is going to put Megan in her place finally, where she will have to lay low and rethink her next steps, her next strategy, and her next moves. Because once Harry's officially back, whether it is part time or not, for the royal family, it's almost like opening the Pandora's box. And guys, William, because King Charles right now, he's undergoing chemo treatment. He's not feeling well. He's an older man. William, for sure, once that's done, is going in to destroy her. Not in the sense of like how you would expect to do it, but in a very diplomatic, royal way. Let's just say. So that's what I see now. I don't see regarding the kids, Archie and Lilibet. I do not see them back in the UK. Right, so I don't, which is sad because I know Harry always wanted to be a dad. Um, okay, he's got a lot of issues, but becoming a parent can really help heal from childhood trauma. It can help trigger things, but at the same time, it can help you heal from those. What else? What am I missing here? So big earthquakes, Trump's health. We'll get to your questions in a minute. Something else about religion and faith. So that's very important. What we're going to see this year is the start of a more spiritual. So this is a great spiritual awakening that the collective is now starting to experience, okay? Some of us experienced this a few years ago, but the collective is going to feel it, see it, experience it this year. And one thing that's going to bring forward is religion, churches, priests, um, what are they called? Sort of anything, even things around Islam as well. Okay. I'm not making much sense, but I'm telling you. Someone said Vatican. Oh, it's Maragda said, yeah, I do see a new pope. Just saying, I don't feel that this pope. Uh, yeah, I feel health issues, but it's not necessarily because he, passes on that we're gonna get a new pope. But I do see a new pope. Where was I? So yeah, so spirituality, basically what I'm trying to say, is going to be the new form of religion, which is going to be one. So right now, depending where you live, depending on your culture, depending on your beliefs, you believe in Buddha, God, Allah, um whatever, different, that's your religion. But what we're going to see, more and more people are turning into spirituality as a form of religion, putting their faith in that. And remember what I said a while ago, I think a couple of months ago, that I said influencers, the social media, beauty influencers, fashion influencers, any type of influencer out there, they're all going down this year. They're no longer going to be influential. All right. Who's going to be influential starting this year? Light workers, healers, spiritual people, spiritual teachers, spiritual leaders. These are the new influencers. And it's bringing everything and everyone together, regardless of your culture, your religion, and how you grew up, in the environment that you grew up in or you were raised in, because it won't matter. it won't matter. It won't matter. All of that. It's not important because here we're having the great spiritual awakening. That means we're all entering a higher level of consciousness, which is why a lot of these material things around us spoke about real estate bubbles bursting. We've been experiencing and seeing the last couple of years how expensive the has gone up, how expensive life has become, how reliant we are on gas, petrol, water. We're reliant on all those things. And someone has control of all these things. Someone controls the prices. Someone controls the what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? The prices. Someone's controlling if you're going to have access to something or not. So all that we realize that we're relying on material things that actually are controlled by other people. We rely on money. Banks control money. Oh, speaking of banks, by the way, big scandals with banks this year. Wait for it. Wait for it. And speaking of, yes, I do unfortunately see a mini stock market crush. Crush or crash? Not a crush. No one has a crush on the stock market unless you make millions, but a crash. Yeah. I do see a mini crash in real estate, unfortunately. Also, Bitcoins, cryptocurrency. Could be that some people realize that it's a pyramid scheme, all right? Or people may realize that this is just a crock of nothing. Just saying. I have no idea about cryptocurrency. My brother does. He's full in, he invests, he does, he trade. I don't know what he does. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. And I'm definitely not investing on anything that is not tangible to me. That I do not I need to understand, how rates and how it works in order for me to invest in something. So um we're going to see economic crisis globally. But the good news is this is not going to be a long-term thing. The It's going to be a short-term thing, but the effects may be a bit more long-term. Something else I forgot to mention is oh God, what am I doing here? Hold on, you guys. Cyber attacks. Speaking of banks, I do see some kind of cyber attack or something, and this goes back to espionage, which is going to be a big thing this year about spy games. A lot of things are going to come out about espionage, Russia, Ukraine, US, um, Japan. I just heard Japan too. So we're going to see a lot of cyber attacks as well. I see a bank being cyber attacked, power outages everywhere, all over the world. All right. So I cannot give you specific locations because I saw them in Europe, I saw them in the US, I saw them in Asia, I saw them in the only place, Africa, okay, the continent of Africa is the only place where I see that it's sort of like out of all of this. I actually see a lot of positive change coming for Africa. No, not everything is positive because we do know that the Chinese have basically invaded Africa. They are building roads, they're building, that's all good and great, but there's a lot of corruption, right? And a lot of um, illegal things happening over there. So, so many outages, cyber attacks, espionage, spy games. We're going to be hearing about this. One country accusing the other one. Look at Navalny. Why do you think the timing of Navalny's death? No coincidence. No coincidence. They tried to out him before, out him, exited before. This time they were successful. Why now? Because we're in March and things are brewing and things are about to come out. 141 in the chat. So exciting. Don't forget, you guys, to like the video and subscribe. And now I'm going to take your questions. I just want to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything, that I haven't missed anything. I'm sure as we go on, more things are going to come out. The other thing I wrote here is the fall this year, 2024, is the fall of the powerful and the fall of world leaders, which will start this month. A lot of changes around. So, all right, you guys. So, what are you guys saying? Wow, I've been talking for an hour. So I'm not doing, you guys are not doing personal readings or lightning readings. This is just for the collective world events, what I'm seeing for 2024. We will do those next week if you want. I don't see him invading Sweden, but I do see he's going to use Sweden and Finland, mostly Finland and Sweden, to push his own agenda and basically threaten NATO. I want to say that I do feel that Putin is getting ready for war, and I don't mean the Ukraine. Because I saw movement, I saw military vehicles, just everything happening. Oh no, sorry, muy pun. You mentioned the Olympics. What about Euro 24 in Germany in June? I'll be there. Interesting that you said that. I was shown a stadium. I'm not sure if it's in Germany, so do not panic. Do not that not there's stadiums and events and things all over the world all year round, all right? But what I am afraid of is pew pews, okay? Shootings. I've been seeing there is going to be a peak of shootings and terrorist attacks this year. So I cannot answer your question whether it's going to be in Germany for the Euro then, but I would be very careful. All right, generally, like, make sure that you are seated next to an exit or next to a gate or something like that, that you're in the back maybe. Just saying, just in case there's anything, you can escape as fast as you can. But yeah, I was being shown a stadium. So it could be during a concert, it could be during the Euro or football or rugby, whatever match. But I didn't see anyone getting hurt, but I see mayhem. Mayhem. She will once Biden is unable to continue with his duties. She won't be elected president, okay? She won't. Although, funnily enough, I do see for the Democrats another female taking on a very powerful and high role as well. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, people are asking about Catherine, Princess Catherine. All right, here's the thing. I said this last time when I did a reading on that. It was touch and go. This her health situation. She had to go into surgery. There were complications during the surgery. I cannot diagnose what is wrong, but I can tell you it was serious, very serious, and her recovery time is going to be longer than expected. She'll be okay, but something's changed. Something in her diet, something in her lifestyle, there's some kind of drastic change in her life because of it. And I do hope she raises awareness of what it was. And I'm sure she will, because I'm sure she's going to do something around that or raise awareness of some kind of like Patreon. I keep calling it a Patreon because of social media, but some kind of charity, something like that. But she'll be back. She's out of the woods now. When do they see the issue with the Indian Ocean? The next month? I can't tell you exactly, but out of these big earthquakes that I saw, the Indian Ocean is the first one I was shown, and I don't, I can't tell within the next 3 months, and I'll be in the Indian Ocean in 2 months. So, and my grandparents' house is right on the beach. It's right on the coast, so we'll see. I will get back to you on that. We'll do a reading on that before the elections because a lot of things can change. So my prediction is not going to be accurate, anyways. If we do it now, there's so many other changes coming. Nothing. Mexico. So this earthquake that I'm seeing, I also feel it's going to affect parts of Mexico because I'm seeing sort of southwest coast. So I do see that. Canada, I'm asking now, I'm seeing a lot of protests. I see a lot of anarchy, like people in the streets, a lot of y- um, homelessness, or people just losing their homes and having nowhere to go. A lot of unrest in Canada. Now, where in Canada? I'm not being shown. Um, I'm not being told or shown where, but definitely there's going to be a lot of unrest, public unrest and stuff. Some kind of issue with your mounted police as well. Something about, because I was just showed the mounted police. Um, something around them. I'm trying to. I don't know. Marsha, are you in Canada? Are there any talks about maybe sort of like slimming down mounted police, or they're thinking or talking about making some kind of changes, budget cuts, something around that, which is going to create some kind of political. It's gonna create political controversies and discussions and arguments, and again, division. I see division. When I said the US is going to feel very civil war and there's going to be a lot of division, I feel that all over, you guys. So it's not just the US, it's just in the US it's going to be more prevalent, if you will. But it's going to be everywhere. um no, no. Mm, why do you think no? But something's fishy there too. I don't feel it was a unaliving, self-unaliving, okay? Something else is happening there. We'll look into that. But no, I don't feel that William's involved or put his hand in this whatsoever. Um, yeah, but they're both sick. And I don't mean mentally. I mean they're both not physically well. They're not. So, hey, Rosie. Hi, my love. Will there be tsunamis? Yes, tsunamis. So coastal California, no, but I feel more tsunamis, Australia and Indian Ocean. All right. I One of the two tsunamis I do feel that might take some lives. The other one, not so much. Not so much. I don't feel it's going to be that huge when it hits land. So, but Australia and Indian Ocean is what I'm getting. You're safe in California because the epicenter is not going to be in the water. It's not going to be in the Pacific. It's going to be more under a mountain. I'm getting some kind of mountain. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage in infrastructure, bridges, buildings, hospitals, and stuff like that. Yep, seems so. I mean, this is what I'm getting, that he will eventually leave, exit. Uh, ooh, interesting. And most of us have not installed landlines in new homes for a decade. That's true. I hardly know anyone who has a landline. I do for some reason. I don't know why. Because I've always thought about this, because I've always thought, like, you never know with all these, with the predictions that I do and everything that I've been seeing all these years and what we're experiencing. I've always thought, you know what? As long as, you never know, internet might be down, things can happen. At least you have a landline. So maybe it's time for people to start getting landlines. It was he's got thank you for clarifying. Thank you. Many. I have to do a separate one on the entertainment industry, like on predictions with celebrities, Danielle, for sure. I will do that. Actually, that will be my next video. Okay, next week I'm gonna do that, because I have to do a separate with that, and section with my spirit guides, so I can specifically get information around that. A lot is going to happen in the entertainment, in the film industry, generally in the entertainment industry, including the music industry, just so you know. So I'm going to look into that in the next video. The other thing that I want to look into, and I will probably do this video with Kempire, is the Jay-Z. We want to look at Jay-Z. We texted each other yesterday and we're just talking about that. So next week I'll get all that done. Yeah, I agree. Just generally, you guys, and Moipan, we don't want to take away the fun of it or anything, but I just want to say that large stadiums, concerts, and stuff like that, they are energy harvest. They do harvest your energy, our energies. So be very selective where you go, or when you go, make sure that you protect yourself. Okay. Imagine yourself in a protected blue bubble and call upon your archangel, your angels, your guides, a deceased loved one to come and help you and protect you. But this year is really not the year or the time to be in like big public spaces with a lot of people. Again, I want to remind you, and not to scare anyone, it's just that we all have to take our precautions and be super, super vigilant. It's just be careful. There is going to be a surge of terrorist attacks everywhere. Europe specifically, but everywhere. No, no, I wish there was. They make way too much money. They make way. It's politics. It's politics. So unfortunately, I don't for the next few years. Although a lot is changing. Don't forget, 2024. We're getting ready to move. By 2026, we will be in our new home, our new neighborhood, and we will feel good because we've created this change for ourselves, right? We created a change that we really, really needed, so we can be happy and more connected to energy, to our environment, to Gaia, to spirit. So next few years are very, very crucial. Um, let's see. Can Okay. Yes. Meditation, group meditation, prayers, positive energy, positive thinking can change outcomes. It 100% can. But we all have to be very committed to this. It doesn't work, oh, Natalie said this. Oh, I really want to pray for the world, pray for the collective, and then forget about it. You do it once and then this has to be part of your daily routine. When you pray, when you meditate, you protect our world, you protect the collective. You've got to live it and breathe it. Okay. But it does help. It does help. The power of the mind. read into quantum physics, how energy and vibration can change things. Okay, can change things around it. So, yes, that's why I said at the beginning, don't forget, we can work on this and we can change the outcomes. Okay. We can delay it, we can change it, we can accept it. And then when we accept it, then we say, okay, lesson learned. Lesson learned. Never do that again. So let me change everything from the foundation. Okay. Let me rip the old foundations out and then build new foundations with what I've learned. But yes, absolutely. Invasion by whom? I do not see an invasion, not invasion. I do see an influx of immigrants coming in. But an invasion by someone, no. But speaking of France and Germany, and speaking of the EU, the European Union, one of the first two countries that are splitting from the EU are France and Germany. And then the EU is going to be basically those that side with Germany or part of the German nations or part of the French nations. So, and I would say that Europe would be split north and south, how I see it. Um, Cyber attacks, power outages, lots of political scandal coming out, a lot of corruption, or corruption that politicians, and I mean the fat cat politicians, all right, is coming to light. So a lot of that is going to be a lot of political divide in the UK, unfortunately, as well. I see also a surge in viruses, illnesses. I spoke about smallpox, but I also see TB. Okay. Which again, when there is a spread of TB on the island in the UK, people are going to be like, where is TB coming from? We do not want immigrants in the country. So this is going to be a snowball effect in Europe where they're going to be like, hey, what's going on here? So we're going to be seeing that a lot. Let me see if I see some. I do see a couple of two big brands companies, high street companies folding. Okay. Shocker. Shocker. I'm just trying to get some more information. Yeah. I also see a big fire happening somewhere in London, in the London vicinity. I see a big fire, like a it's not like a Grenfell. It's not going to be. It's more so department, like a department store. I'm being shown, which will threaten buildings around it. There might be loss of life too. I'm being shown. Weather as well, extreme weather. Like summer is not, it's going to be super heat wave one day, the next day there's going to be like hail this big. Like it's going to be cray in the UK this year when it comes to weather patterns and stuff like that. I see issues. Okay, see, it's good that you're asking me questions because now I'm getting some more stuff. I do see transportation is going to be a big thing this year. And here it is. I see airplanes. So I was shown airplanes, and I do feel something around aviation, meaning something. Um, Hijacking, attempts to bomb or take down civil airplanes. I just, it's a mess. Um, some I'm also, yeah, here's the thing. Like, it's not going to be smooth this year when it comes to anyone who flies, who takes planes to either commute or work, or go back, visit family, or just generally they like traveling. I see a lot of issues. I see accidents, as I said, some kind of hijacking, an attempt to bomb or take down a plane as well. And I feel it's in Europe. I feel one of these uh, inc- incidents is going to be in Europe, one of them. And I'm being shown sort of UK side, just letting you know. Um, but I'll keep updating you throughout the year what I'm getting, what is coming through, if anything's changed. I always make notes in my spiritual journal whenever I receive messages and visions and things from my spirit team. Yeah, I think I just answered that question. Yeah. Oh, Simply says we had a big cybersecurity attack last week affecting farmers in the US from Russian group. Interesting. Will there be a resolution soon? Will there be more coming up? Definitely. There's not going to be a resolution. Definitely there's more coming. Next one's banks. A bank. That's what I'm seeing. So there won't be a resolution to that. Trudeau has to go. He's coming. His time is coming. All right. For those of you who don't like Trudeau, I, I'm indifferent because I do not follow Canadian politics. I'm really sorry, Canada. I just don't like to follow politics, politicians, and politics in general. But he's. I'm giving him a couple of years. More nonsense. Fires prevalent everywhere, especially the US and Canada and Australia. Australia already has a huge issue right now with fires. I see fires in Texas, Denise. I can't give you a location. East, the eastern side of, I'm being shown, I'm being taken east of Texas. Hmm. Where in Canada? No, when I mean, yeah, I understand. There's a lot of homelessness in London too, but I mean to the point where like there is no side road or road where you walk and you don't see someone in a sleeping bag, someone looking for food, someone, just generally homeless people. It's going to be a, a lot, a lot. Worse than it worse than it was, this is what I'm getting, worse than it was like in the mid 90s in New York where they had a huge issue with crime and homelessness. Worse than that is what I heard. Memorial service now. Camilla is having a week off. Camilla has her own. She has. I've said this before. She has some kind of autoimmune disease. I think she also had some kind of accident. Yeah, her health is poorly, and yeah, the Greeks did not. I can tell you this: the Greeks did not appreciate that William pulled out of King Constantine's memorial service. Nope, they didn't. They were like, "Hello, this was your uncle." Like, what the? Like, what the? So I don't know what's with that. Why is Megan so clingy in all pictures? The marriages are pretending at this point because it's part of the show. It's part of like she's created a movie in her head. She is the star of a movie that she wrote, she directed, she produced, right? So it's all about image. It's all about what she puts out there. Very calculating, very conniving, in my opinion. And yes, this is all pictures, they're all pretend. All right. They're all pretend. But trust me, wait until whatever is coming out about Megan this month, we'll be talking about it. I'll be definitely doing a video on that. Good question. Do you see Bravo shake down with all these lawsuits? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Bravo, every time I look at Bravo, it does not look good. I feel there are budget cuts. I've been saying Andy Cohen is on his way out. I've been saying this since last year. All right. So Bravo is changing. And which is probably why they moved to Miami and the Ultimate Girls Trip stuff to Peacock, and that was sort of more of a trial period. I feel Bravo is just there's so many changes. It feels to me like a money pit. Okay, it feels to me who owns Bravo, NBC, right? Seems to me that they're like, get your shit together until 2025, 2026, or we pull the plug. This is what it feels to me. Those lawsuits are not helping. But I don't feel like I know there's so many lawsuits right now. Tom and our not Tom, Raquel versus Ariana and Tom, or Tom and Ariana. Then we have Brandy Clanville and Andy Cohen, then there is Caroline Manzo and Brandy. I mean, it's a mess. I don't feel that all of these lawsuits are going to be. I feel that they're going to settle before it gets anywhere, if you will. At least some of them. So yeah, Bravo stuff does not look good. Just generally. But are having so much crime and homelessness. They need to be better leaders in place. Which is thank you for saying that, Storm, because actually this is the other thing I wanted to say, that all of this, I know right now you feeling shaky, you're like, oh my God, Natalie is scared mongering us. I'm just not sugarcoating. I'm just being very candid. I worry as well. I mean, I'll be traveling. I worry too. I live in Greece. We're expecting a big earth. There's a lot. Okay, I'm sounding like Bethany Frankel right now. Blah, 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 blah. Like, but thank you for saying that, because everything that is happening from now till 2026 or 2025. Let's not go to 2026. This year and next year is actually it's going to basically trigger a response, a collective response that people are fed up of control, corruption, lies, and the leaders who are leading us, who have their own agendas. They're getting richer. We're getting poorer. They're getting richer. Capitalism. All right. And the world is heading to it's things are getting worse instead of better. And people after this year and after everything that we'll be experiencing collectively are not going to take that shit anymore. All right. People are going to start demanding change. And it's not just about demanding, because you can demand whatever you want from someone. They don't necessarily need to do anything. They don't need to cater to you just because you demand something. All right. It's not about demanding, it's about changing. It's about realizing that the change comes from you, from us, from me first, in order for me to pass on that energy, inspire, help, empower someone else in my life, who they in turn are going to change their life, their way of thinking, and they in turn will help the next person, et cetera, et cetera. This is what's happening. We are creating a chain. I just heard the song Chain by Fleetwood Mac, which I love, but that's exactly what Spirit just sent me. Okay. We're creating a chain of love, a chain of oneness, and we realize that we are connected and we have power. They just took the power away from us. All these leaders, all these people that make decision for us, and we elect these people, all right? No, we realized that the power that was taken away from us, we can take it back. That's exactly what is going to happen by the time this year is done. In 2025, It's like we moved into our new home, we moved into our new neighborhood, and now I know what changes. I've made some changes in my life. I know what other changes I need to do and how I'm going to help my community, my neighborhood, my community, my people, my family. And we're building a beautiful world, a, a world where we are all connected spiritually, telepathically. Love connects us, not hate. 'Cause hate divides, okay? Hate, right now, there's so much hate and resentment in the world. And we've forgotten how to love, not our husbands, our wives, our kids, our parents. We've forgotten how to love ourselves. So we need to start loving ourselves, working on ourselves, have faith, keep the faith, keep the faith, connect to spirit. And what happens is we're all, this chain is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. And then there won't be anyone to control us. We will not be electing, because we elect people, we're given some options, okay? It's not like we have this huge pool of candidates and we're like, well, this guy is this or this woman is this. No, they're like, okay, these are the 5 candidates, elect your president. That's it? These are my options? We want better options. We're going to get better options because our voice is going to get louder, stronger, more powerful. Don't forget that. This year is just a bump along the way. It's all good. We got this. We all got this, you guys. We have one another. We have love. Love comes from inside. We have light. We are protected. We're being guided. Listen, pay attention to what's happening around you. Together, we can change this world. The new earth is here. Now, what we have to do is clean up a little bit. There's a lot of gunk, a lot of crap from this old earth. Let's clean it up and let's take control. I'm sorry if I'm missing any questions. Do you see Hollywood movies making any changes? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the other thing. Next few years, Hollywood movies, blockbusters, Marvel movies, blah blah blah, all that no, it's not gonna exist in that sense. Because you know what? With AI technology and the technology that's available to us now, you, me, Isis, Maragda, anyone can make their own movie. They can create their own Marvel movie just by using AI and technology. So the film industry and the entertainment industry is going to change drastically in order to cater for our new needs, our new entertainment needs. I cannot tell you where that's heading, but I can tell you that the movies that we watch, and then we have these Oscar nominations and Emmys, Grammys, BAFTAs, all of that. Oh yeah, and the whole award ceremonies are dying. Give it 3 years, there won't be any. Redundant. Redundant. Who cares? Because people are not going to watch movies anymore. People will want to start again. Remember, spiritual people, light workers are the new influences. People will be more interested in finding out finding real information and receiving knowledge which is invaluable than watching some kind of movie with all these actors that we don't trust them anymore. Trust them, not that we did, but they're not 10-15 years ago, celebrities, because social media was not what it is today. We had this sort of like feeling that celebrities are like gods because they're not accessible. So wow, I feel starstruck, 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 okay, starstruck. And now it's so easy to access celebrities, right? You can DM them on Instagram. Hey, do you want to come on my channel? Do you want to do this? Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Um, so it's Hollywood is changing. Hollywood is changing. All right, so I'll do a couple of more questions and then I'll call it a night. A night for me, call it a day for you. Some of you, or afternoon or early morning, depending where you're watching from. And I love the fact that you guys are watching from all over the world. So we have New Zealand, Australia, UAE, US, Canada, Mexico, Europe, India, Pakistan. Love it. Okay. So any earthquakes or not? I've answered that, Kleiner. I'm gonna okay. Okay, you guys are just discussing among you. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Okay. Thank you, Val. Thank you. I love you too. I love you more. I love you more, you guys. Val's saying that your global audience loves you, and I'm saying I love you more, you guys. I absolutely do. You're my extended family. Family. All right. So you guys, correct. Yeah, we will all develop telepathy. We already are. More and more people are opening their third eye. They're listening to their intuition. They connect telepathically. So be prepared for what's coming. Yeah, we have to go through the swamp in order to get to the Garden of Eden. Yes, but hey, it's worth it. It's worth it. And again, we've got each other. You're not alone. If you're going through stuff, you're not alone. I give free readings on my channel once a month. I'll do lightning readings most likely next week. So that might help you if you can't afford to get a reading from me. Speaking of, if you want to book a reading with me, you can head on over to my website and use the booking form on my website to book it, to book a reading. I've actually also now I'm offering past life readings. So if you're interested in those, finding out about your past life, connections with loved ones in this current life and how you were connected to them in past lives, soul families, etc. It's just a deep dive and you understand a lot about yourself, about your fears, about anxieties, even if you have health issues, a lot of times they are connected to past life. So I highly recommend that. I don't know how long I'm going to be offering past life readings because they can be super exhausting. Sorry, you guys. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but it's super exhausting. Okay. So I might just have them on, offer them for 3 months and bring them back up. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I highly recommend that you book a past life reading. And how do I learn about crystals? Okay, so I have videos on my channel about crystals because I do have a crystal shop. Which also, thank you guys. The chat's amazing today because you're just reminding me of things that I forgot to mention. I'm also revamping my crystal shop and I will be adding jewelry. Okay, some pieces of jewelry as well, and some pieces of special crystals. All right, I want to make it more of a boutique with really high quality, pure stuff, but really high quality. I'm even going to bring some home stuff like home decor stuff and things like that as well. All right, you guys, you've been fantastic as always. Okay, this is my crystal shop for anyone who's interested in crystals. And again, you can check on my on the channel. If you go back, you'll find I have several videos on crystals explaining how crystals work, which crystals are best for you, the how to how to recognize or how to see if a crystal is fake or not. So there's a lot of information on my channel. So, you guys, you've been wonderful. I love you lots. Do not, again, do not worry, do not panic. We have each other. You always have this community. We're here for each other. And if you feel anxiety about something, ground yourself. Okay. Go out in nature, connect to nature, go swimming, go cycling, take a long shower, ground yourself, write down your fears. That also helps, just expelling fears by writing it down. But do not allow for that fear to take over your life. Again, certain things are going to happen this year that are going to go down in the books. All right. But again, this is all leading to something amazing. Amazing. Life is changing. Everyone, when they looked way back 30, 40 years ago, when we talked about the future, or when people talked about the future, we thought of the Jetsons. We thought of flying cars and, living in these like high rises, bubble thingies, and um what's the teleport from one place to the other. No, yeah, that could be the future, but the future is not in flying cars and AI and whatnot and robots. The future is in the new earth, and the ascension is in this grand, great spiritual awakening where it's connecting us all, because then we get superpowers. We don't need flying cars. We don't need AI. We don't need Apple goggles, whatever. We don't need all that stuff, because once we're there and we're vibrating on that higher frequency with this higher level of consciousness, we're telepathic. Okay. We are superheroes, not just telepathic. We feel everything. We connect to everything. We see where we come from. I did this Italian hand now for all of you Italians. I just did and I'm not even Italian. So a lot of big things are coming, and we need to embrace and deal with everything that comes our way. We just do. But we got this. Trust me, we got this. All right, you guys. I love you lots. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're new here. And please leave a comment down below. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Do you feel that, at least when it comes to our world leaders, do you think it's about time for a big change, even if scandalous things come out in the open and people are not ready to hear about them or know about certain things that are happening? Do you think this is a good thing? Is it time for a big change? Aquarius. Aquarius is a rebel. It's it's all about being a rebel, a revolutionary, intellectual way of thinking. Food for thought. Love you all, guys. Take care. Till next time.